Candy cigarettes, indestructible marshmallows that could kill you, and chocolate-covered raisins. These are the 10 worst candies ever. Number 10, candy cigarettes. Some people enjoy smoking cigarettes, despite how dangerous they can be. They're dangerous because they could kill you. Nobody should take a look at a cigarette and see an idea for candy, but somehow that happened. The candies are shaped exactly like cigarette sticks, and even come in the famous cigarette cartons. In the early days, some of the most renowned cigarette companies even used the logos and brands of these candies to help market these things. It's pretty obvious why this is a terrible candy for children. A child could mimic something they saw on TV and light a cigarette candy on fire. It didn't even help that some of them came with powdered sugar at the tip that looks like smoke when you blow it. While the candy is sweet and perfect for kids, its design is definitely not the best we've seen. Number 9, Peeps. Imagine you go camping. Who wouldn't want a nice, slightly burned marshmallow squished between crackers and chocolate? S'mores are amazing, right? Well, if you take that same marshmallow and mix it with corn syrup, then shape them into little animals, you might get these unbelievably sweet treats. That sounds cute, but these gooey marshmallows aren't exactly the peak of candy creation. They even look a tiny bit scary. People say that Peeps have a grainy and freakish texture, nothing like campfire marshmallows for sure. It's annoying that they just keep on hitting the market with new and disturbing flavors. What even is sour lemonade party cake bubblegum? The best or worst part is you can even find Peep-flavored milk. Whoa, that doesn't even sound like something I would ever try. Oh, and one more thing, Peeps are almost impossible to destroy. After using all kinds of things to test it, we realized it's really hard to destroy. From burning it to dissolving using smoke or liquid nitrogen, nothing worked. That's what you want to put in your body? That stuff could kill you. Number 8, Raisinets. What's the worst thing you could find in candy? Nuts, caramel, insects, raisins? For me, I'm going with raisins. This doesn't mean I would want insects in my candy though. I know some of you might like raisins, but usually they're not everyone's favorite. For one, nobody wants raisins when you think you're getting chocolate chips, especially in stuff like cookies. This is why chocolate lovers are generally appalled by this weird, kooky combination of chocolate and raisins made by the Ferrari Candy Company. Interestingly, the company made other chocolate-covered products. There's a whole bunch of other dried fruit covered in chocolate, like cranberries and cherries. They think covering anything in chocolate makes it a whole lot better. If you enjoy these fruits, then you've got nothing to worry about. Do you think your friends would laugh if you eat some in public? You'll probably become the boring health nut kid instead of the cool kid who brings treats like actual good chocolate for everyone. Healthy stuff is great for you, but we all love them more when they taste really good. If you think these were shocking, now we're gonna take a look at candy that tastes like chalk, M&M's knockoffs, and sugar corn kernels. Number 7, Smarties. When people say Smarties aren't good, a few people freak out. If you're from Canada, you need to calm down. Your beloved chocolate candy-covered Smarties are quite tasty, so no one's canceling them. The American Smarties, on the other hand, well, not so great. This candy is so chalky and dry that a lot of kids would pop the tablets and pretend to be taking medicine. You know what's worse about this? They've existed since the late 1940s, but somehow they didn't get any better. Want to find a pack of Smarties? Check the bottom of any kid's trick-or-treat bag. They may come in different pretty and pleasing pastel colors like baby pink, yellow, and purple, but ultimately, that still doesn't give them any flavor at all. There are so many amazing flavors out there, but Smarties just went with chalk. So not only do they look like medicine, but they also taste bland as well. Number 6, M&M's knockoffs. Nobody likes knockoffs. I mean, why would you want to buy a fake candy when I can easily get the original? Despite our love for originality, candy companies are still trying to copy the treats of other major companies. A perfect example? Sixlets. Sixlets are the most disappointing chocolates, and here's why. A lot of people say that they're dry and overwhelming to eat. It's probably hard to imagine dry chocolate, but these knockoff M&Ms find a way to be just that. The quality of this chocolate is so bad that a lot of people would rather get their hands on M&Ms by any means possible. Sixlets come in various colors like red, yellow, green, blue, orange, just like, well, your favorite M&Ms. They also have many holiday variations like white and pink ones on Valentine's Day. They're hard-shelled, very sugary, and have no actual flavor. They can't really compete with the delicious treats available today, and so have failed the ultimate test of time. M&Ms melt in your mouth, but Sixlets will melt right in your hands. Who wants that? Number 5, candy corn. Ever had candy corn? What did you think? This candy has become infamous for being hated by a good chunk of the population. It's probably because it tastes like pure sugar and nothing else. Candy corn was originally made with a mixture of sugar and corn syrup, so you can see why they'd say that. These days, factories make candy corn even worse because of other ingredients they add. The basic ingredients haven't really changed, but they now add fondant and coloring, both of which aren't so healthy for the human body. The worst part? This candy still tastes like crap. It has no flavors or anything interesting enough to keep you hooked. What were they thinking? Somehow, though, there always seems to be one person who's obsessed with candy corn. If you get it at any Halloween party, don't panic, someone will eventually show up. Number 4, Circus peanuts. Peanuts are great, but when you think about all the kids allergic to it, you sort of change your mind about them. Despite this, peanuts are a great addition to candies. Whether it's peanut M&Ms or Snickers bars, chocolates with peanuts are always amazing. That's why you expect peanut candy to taste great, right? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. The Circus peanuts are sold as marshmallow peanuts, and at first this doesn't sound so terrible. The disgusting twist is that it's banana flavored. Even if you like bananas, banana flavor is sort of something that almost everyone avoids. Nothing makes it taste good, not even ice cream. This is why it was shocking to discover that these peanuts have been in the market since the 1900s. Well, that's a long time, probably before our grandparents were born. The reason it's lasted so long is that it just keeps showing up. No one brand has the ultimate right to Circus peanuts, so everybody and anybody makes them. Still, it's a terrible Halloween when you add this to your stash. Starting now, things get serious. It's now time to look at Milk Duds, world-renowned Tootsie Rolls, and then finally, spicy candy. Number 3, Milk Duds. Ever had candy that just made you want to give up candy forever? Maybe you expected it to be great, but it turned out to be pretty disgusting. Or perhaps your friend told you about it, only to discover that it tastes bad. Either way, terrible candy can be annoying. Best way to get annoyed? Try a Milk Dud. Milk Duds were originally supposed to be round, chocolate-covered caramel candies, but for some twisted reason, the duds ended up being oval. Later on, the rejected shape eventually became the candy's signature shape. If you like anything covered in chocolate, who doesn't? Milk Duds is a huge heartbreak. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you should know that chocolatey coating found in every Milk Dud isn't really chocolate at all. What? Are they even allowed to do that? Instead, they use a combination of cocoa and vegetable oil. Shockingly, that's used in a lot of candies to cut costs. Milk Duds were already being called bland and impossible to chew, so this still doesn't help their case. If you don't want a visit to the dentist, avoid this one especially. The caramel would always stick to your teeth and can make a dentist pop them right out. Number 2, Tootsie Rolls. What's the one candy you always avoid at Halloween? It could be good candy, but maybe you just don't like it. For most people, it's Tootsie Rolls, and honestly, I don't blame them. Does anyone actually like Tootsie Rolls? Tootsie Rolls are chewy, chocolate-flavored candies that have been around since the late 19th century. Most times, they're sliced into small cylindrical shapes. Chewy and soft should be good, right? Wrong. This candy doesn't melt easily, so you have to keep chewing and chewing and chewing until you're probably old and gray. On the bright side, you never have to worry about it melting and making a mess on your clothes. Tootsie Rolls are pretty disappointing candies that everyone avoids, but fortunately, the company got something right. Their lollipop equivalent is surprisingly really good. Tootsie Pops are some of the tastiest lollipops around, with their chewy centers that eventually turn to gum. It was a brilliant move by the company to combine the Tootsie Roll with the hard candy of a lollipop. So enjoy the Tootsie Pops until Halloween, when Tootsie Rolls will return again to terrorize your taste buds. Now on to the moment you've all been waiting for. Number 1, hot tamales. No, we're not talking about the Mexican meal. This is the name of an actual candy. Ever had it before? What do you think? If you don't already know, hot tamales are cinnamon-flavored jelly candies with an intense, spicy flavor. Since their introduction in 1950, their shtick has been that they are the spiciest candy in the market. It's true that they've remained in business till this day, but does this change the fact that you shouldn't give this to kids? Absolutely not. Cinnamon flavoring isn't exactly enjoyed in candy products, so adding it in a jelly sweet doesn't seem like the smartest thing. They went and added spice, and that's a no-no for me and millions of kids around the world. Will you accept this as a gift? Well, if you do, be prepared to have your taste buds on fire. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.